Hello! Hi! Today I am going to talk to you about tropes in modern media when it comes to music. So what you hear in the background just now is like a wee classical baroque style ditty I put together in my DAW using some very convincing talented VST instruments. Yeah, so well, basically this kind of music's used in the background of videos and documentaries to kind of signify poshness, rich, intelligence, all stuff on me, or something historical. Now, I can't tell too much about what I did with this, being very lacking in theory knowledge, being mainly a guitar player, so it's probably it's best to keep it in a major kind of happy tonality because I used to summon the devil if it was minor, I guess. I probably stole some things from Yngwie Malmsteen because I like to unleash the fury. Also, what I would say is for this type of backing, you don't really need to grate it yourself because, I mean, the original stuff, that's all like over 300 years, they're like 300 years old. I mean, it's public domain, you can use that as long as the orchestra or whoever has recorded it can put it as public domain as well. So, yeah. However, sometimes in these highbrow historical type videos, they'll want to lift the mood. So they'll use music like this, which is like your ragtime stride type piano solo music. They'll use this to lift the mood when they're talking about some like quirky law or something ridiculous they did in the past that they don't do now. Now, unfortunately, I'm not good enough at piano to make a ragtime piece, so that's just Scott Joplin, but that's neither here nor there, eh? So now we've looked at some of the more highbrow type of backing music, the classy stuff, the educational stuff. But now we're going to look at an instrument that really lives in modern media in the background. It'll sneak up on you at any moment. It's this bad boy right here, a ukulele. I've got a chord model. It's very bad. Now, the ukulele, I think it rose to prominence in like the mid-2000s. It was used by like your quirkier companies to sound like relatable and stuff, but it ended up getting picked up by like banks and stuff. So, I'm your bank. I'm going to use the ukulele to make us sound very welcoming and warm. We're going to have a ukulele in our bank music. Yes, we have a big loan and tech companies, and they'd use all this quirky sounding music, and it's really risen to prominence. Like all the vloggers and stuff for at a certain time were using the same royalty-free like tracks of ukulele. So it was very simple stuff, and they all seemed to use the same tracks. They all sounded the same, and it gets like really old really fast. So I'm going to actually show a wee tutorial of how you are going to make a ukulele kind of vlogger stock bank advert type track. So what they use the ukulele for is just basically to do like a chord progression, you know, like strum a plinky wee whimsical chord progression on the ukulele because it sounds so happy, you know? So there's like so happy. I mean, to be honest, it's like to me this instrument has a really fucked up tune, and it's like it goes like it has a high note at the top. For the guitarist, this is like a mindfuck. Like, so it's like this is really out of tune because this is like a $5 ukulele. To be honest, I kind of prefer the guitar-lele. So this right here is a guitar-lele. I actually prefer this to a ukulele, to be honest with you. Mainly because basically it's a bit fatter sounding, you know. It's fatter sounding, it sounds better to me, but it might just be because I can't be bothered to learn ukulele chords, because every chord on this is basically the exact same as like the shapes. They're the same as a guitar, obviously, but they're different keys. It's like a guitar with a capo on the 5th fret, basically. Another advantage with the ukulele is you can play Hot for Teacher by Van Halen on this. And you can't do that on a ukulele. However, for the sake of authenticity, for this we will use a ukulele. Okay, so now you've got your cheeky wee ukulele track. And all you need now is to have like a simple, catchy melody. It's a big bonus for this if you can whistle in tune. However, I can't whistle in tune. So what you need is a glockenspiel. Don't have one of those either, but you can get VST Instruments and glockenspiels. And what you need to have is like a simple, repetitive, catchy melody, and that way it can react well to like chord changes in the background. So depending on the chord you use, it can bring up different moods, you know, and maybe add a little bit of tension to it, but you don't want too much tension for this. So you need like a wee melody, kind of something like. So it's like running up and down the C major scale basically. So then when you add it to your chords, it'll sound something like this. So yeah, that's all you really need for that. I mean, you could add some extra household objects, you know, like bang some spoons together, or you could add some piano. As I said, whistling, you could whistle in it. Just as long as it sounds whimsical and happy and quirky, it'll be fine. So the type of music I'm going to talk about now is kind of like your chilled out, jazzy background music that you seem to get with a lot of the influencers these days when they're showing off something. Like they'll show off something in the B-roll and they'll have this random sort of fox jazz type of music with random stuff going on, and it's really all over the place, but I don't really know how to describe it really. It's very interesting. As you can hear, I've actually put together a track like that. I've had a bit of a field day and I'd got a lot of fun messing about with the auto-tune. I don't think I got it very accurate, but it's really hilarious and it gets my point across. So I'm going to give like a little tutorial on what you kind of need to sound like this. For this type of track, you want to use 7th chords for everything. So on the piano here, if I was just playing normal chords, it would sound like this, like. See, I mean, it doesn't have the vibe you'd want for this sort of track, so you just have to add the 7th one to every chord. Easy enough. I mean, I'm not much of a piano player, to be honest. Now, for melodies for this, now, I kind of made this track for the most part, it's in C, so for a guitarist, this is quite an easy thing to improvise because basically all the notes in key are the white notes, so basically it's the most racist key. It's the most racist key you can have. But to be jazzy, you've actually got to play outside the key, so to do that on a piano in C is really easy because, you know, to play outside, you kind of just got to emphasize the right note. So, you know, you just go like that. So that's like the main melody. I mean, if I was to play like something, if I was to emphasize the outside note, it sounds really bad, right? But because I'm playing it first, it's like. And obviously with this key, you can play like. And obviously, the first chord's actually a D minor chord, so it's D Dorian, so just like. And the second chord's C major, which is actually the same scale as D Dorian, except it starts on a different note. So you can just go like. I did add a little bit of a key change to spice it up a little bit. It's like what? Is it freaking A sharp? It goes down to. To be honest, you could do something more spicy with this, but to be honest, on the melody and the actual track, I kept everything very, very safe and similar, so that the chords would do the work for the mood instead of the melody, because that's always a fun thing to do, to be honest. So for the bass track, I kind of just used a kind of arpeggio, and I played it very near the neck. I don't play bass with fingers because I'm a bit of a pleb, so I just played it as close to the neck as possible, rolled down the tone, and kind of did a, you know, like a little arpeggio there. Yeah, it's very basic. And then the drum beat, I just kind of found a groove on Easy Drummer that can sort of fix. I'm kind of throwing these together, so they're not taking that much effort into them. Now, the real saucy part of this is I added a little vocal line. Now, it's really ridiculous, but what you'll find in tracks like these, they'll do like really obviously like higher up pitch auto-tune stuff. Now, I've never touched vocals or auto-tune in my life, so I just kind of made it as over the top and ridiculous as possible. So this here is like the original vocal. It sounds really ridiculous, right? So it's like, hi, 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 hello. So what I did was I just basically went really up and down with the auto-tune, and then I added like phaser, chorus and things like that. It just sounded really ridiculous, so I added this onto here. So it's also like this. So, but in the track it's a bit weird, but it kind of fits, but it kind of parodies the idea of what I want to get across with the track, so. It's a bit ridiculous. Also with these, you need to have a wee bridge, so I think quite a lot, this will be for like the B-roll, like in a YouTube video there's displaying a product or something, and they'll need a little break, and they'll have like a bit of the drums and bass cut out, and they'll just be like, and it's like a sexy product going on there, you know. So that's pretty much it, to be honest. So yeah, that's pretty much it for some tropes of modern media. I'm going to call it for now on this video. I've got a couple more ideas, but I'm going to leave them for a part 2 if enough people watch this or have the demand for it. I mean, if you've made it to the end, well, thank you. What I'll say is, if you've got any ideas for more tropes in music in modern media, you can always leave them in the comments, and I might look at it next time I get around to doing one of these. I have been off work this week, so I've had more time to go like full, try hard, try and make a video. It's my first time doing it, so obviously I'm not the most comfortable speaking to a camera, and I'm a bit of a socially awkward person anyway, so thank you for watching, and I might see you next time. I might know, you might not have got to this far, it might just be my mum that's watching now, so cheers.